Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is going to be another diamond paint with me while I continue working on Treasure Studios art Cherry Blossom by Lizzie Falcon, and we are to the next row. I finished that other section on Friday. So very excited, I only have 2 rows left. And then I'm going to be starting Maleficent. Still have a pesky cough a little bit. I'm going to be starting Maleficent by Lizzie Falcon. I saw someone that finished it on one of the diamond painting groups I belong to. Oh my God, it looks so fantastic. But before we get into the video, we will chat. It will be a true crime story time, but I received a gift in the mail, and it is from Gail. So I wanted to show you the envelope because I just died. She had written on the envelope, "What? Money, honey? Was it worth it?" I died when the post office people were like, "What the fuck is all that on there?" But she sent me some little gifties and absolutely just love the little gifts. A notebook that says sparkle every day, and it's actually a planner, which I may throw this in my purse. I love it though. Absolutely. So it's for 2022. It starts December of 2021. So yeah, that's awesome. And then she sent me a coaster, which I actually need a new coaster downstairs next to my bed. So this will be going there. It says, "Do what you love what you do." Yay. Yeah, my other coaster was like so gross, I threw it away. And then she said the cuteness is in here. So it is a cover minder or needle minder, whichever. And it is, I have some of these in another color. They are so cute though. Look at these little guys. Oh my God. Can you even? Purple and a yellow one. Gail, thank you so very much for these little gifties. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. And someone actually, I want to say it was Jenny. Someone left a comment. Someone left a comment on my video over the weekend and said they were sending me a Starbucks mug from Oregon. I don't know if I have one from there. I only have like 3 spots left on my rack. Or 4 spots left. I haven't received a Starbucks mug in a really long time, so that'll be nice. But she was also going to send me some nail strips from, I want to say it was Lily and Fox. I don't remember, but I'll be very curious to try those as well. And I ordered myself some new readers because when I pick up a new cross-stitch project, it's like I'm looking for my readers. Yeah. Okay, so let's peel back the paper on this section. And let's chat about the weekend. So I had off on Friday. Oh, we're going to do the black because there's a lot of black in that section. I had off on Friday. And Bill got home from work. And I'm trying to think. I was still doing stuff on the computer. Like video stuff. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was putting all of my clips for my cross-stitch vlog together, processing that, because that takes a little bit of time. So I was doing that, and then we decided to pick up dinner from Mission Barbecue, and it was not too hot here on Friday. So we came back and ate outside, ate out back on our deck, and then we watched TV. And we didn't really have like any set plans for the weekend, which I like that. So Saturday we got up. What did we do? Oh, I had a massage at 9 o'clock. And he was cleaning out. He wanted to clean his shed out. So he was cleaning out the shed, doing all of that. I went and checked my P.O. box, had the massage. Came home, washed my hair, because when I get a massage, she uses massage oil. And when she rubs my neck, the oil gets in the bottom of my hair and makes it greasy. So I got myself cleaned up, and he wanted to go to Bass Pro Shop to get some hunting stuff, because now he is into hunting and is going to do that come the fall. He hasn't been on the boat fishing in like 2 months. And this Saturday, we're having recessed lighting put in our kitchen, so it's not going to be this Saturday. And then the Saturday after that, he is, we have a birthday party to go to. So it's like, are you ever going fishing again? Yeah. But now he's getting into hunting and all of that. So we went there and we planned to have dinner at Chevy's, which was very good. I had chicken fajitas. We walked around there a little bit, but we weren't in there very long. It was actually quite a bit of people, and I don't like going to stuff like that anymore, like malls and crap. We saw this pair of tennis shoes in a window. They were all glitter. I was like, oh my God. He's like, do you want them? I'm like, no, that may be a bit too much even for me, but they were really cute though. Yeah, I was like, can you imagine me walking around with glitter tennis shoes? Oh my God. So by the time we got back, it was about 7 o'clock. And actually, before we went to, I was downstairs about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we weren't planning to leave to go to Bass Pro Shop until like 4. So I took like a tiny nap, like 15 minutes. And then I actually had started a cross-stitch project, a new one, one of those Carolyn Manning designs, and I didn't like the colors once I started stitching it. So I just, not going to work on that. And, you know, sometimes that happens. And with craft projects, whether it's diamond painting or whatever, you have to be happy with it, or what's the point? So I had only done a little bit, so I just tossed it in the trash. I don't even care. So, but you know, when we came back, UFC was on, and I don't mind watching that because I can read or do whatever. I finished 2 books over the weekend. Now, I have to say that the books were short. Like the first one I read from Friday to Saturday was only 100 pages. And then the second one I read was 176. I read from Saturday to Sunday. So let me tell you though about the 100-page book I read. It was by Louise Candlish. I've read a couple of her books, and it was called a quick read. It was called The Skylight. So I don't want to give it away, but I'll give you the premise of it. This boyfriend and girlfriend live in this flat apartment. It's actually a house that was converted into 2 apartments. So they live upstairs. Their neighbors, which is a husband and wife, live downstairs. And in the girlfriend, the people that live on the top floor, in her bathroom, she can see through the skylight that the people have below her. It's like a 2-way glass, so she can see down, but they can't. If they look up, they can't see her. Do you know what I mean? So she starts watching them, and then she sees something that is quite upsetting. And I'm gonna leave it there, like, oh my God, because it made me think when I got to like what happened, I was like, what would I do in that instance? It was good. The book was good. Now, I had to actually buy the book because it was like, it wasn't available on Kindle. So I had to actually buy it. And I bought it from, I want to say it was Book Depository, I think. And then I decided I wanted to read one of my vintage R.L. Stine books that I had bought last year, I think, off eBay in a big lot. So the one I picked was called The Prom Queen, where these 5 friends, and they were all friends in high school, all seniors, they were picked to be in the running to win prom queen. Well, someone is murdering the prom queens. All these people start dying, and you're like, okay, who the fuck is doing it? I was surprised at who was doing it because I told Bill the premise of the story. So he was like, okay, I think it's so-and-so. I think it's so-and-so. And I'm like, okay, I'll let you know. And no, it wasn't who he had thought. It was a good book, though. I liked it. I love those R.L. Stine books. My God, they bring back such memories of when I was a teenager. And I used to, in the summer, our library would let us check out 30 books max, and I would check that out. I literally, that summer, I had to have read the entire young adult section. I mean, I was just obsessed. And I literally would read all day long. And, you know, my grandfather, the wonderful man that he was, he would come and pick me up because, you know, my parents were working. But, you know, when I think about it, I don't know. It's so odd how my grandparents just would come and pick us up and take us anywhere, and my mom was home, and I'm like, why wouldn't she take us? I don't know. So he would come and pick me up, drop me off at the library, and then there was a payphone outside. Yes, a fucking payphone. He would give me a quarter, because that's what a phone call was, and he would be like, just call me when you're ready to be picked up. And he would come pick me up, take me home. It was awesome. It was wonderful. Why would you not support your grandchild reading? Of course you would. It's stupid. Like, why would you not do that, right? Of course. And they were wonderful like that. I mean, my grandfather, I think, had retired not soon after I was born. Yeah. He retired at 50. So just like my mom did. My mom retired at 50. It's amazing. But yeah, so he was home and he was very happy to do it. Come pick me up. I mean, we only lived where I lived then. We only lived 10 minutes from them, if that. It wasn't even 10 minutes. Yeah. So I read that, and then I decided, okay, I'm going to read like a regular book. And I started reading, and it's pretty good, actually. Mrs. Rochester's Ghost. And I forget who the author is. I will link the book down below. But it's pretty good. It's a retelling of Jane, is it Jane Eyre? I've never read Jane Eyre. I know, right? Don't kill me. But it's like a thriller. Like, this book is suspenseful. It's good. I'm liking it so far. I'm about 100 pages in of 300, so I'm a third of the way through the book. And so that was Saturday. Saturday we watched UFC till about 11:30, went to bed. And then Sunday we had groceries delivered, and my stepdaughter and her boyfriend were coming over for dinner. So they came over at about 1:30. Bill had some errands to run, so he went and did that before they came over. He went to the store and got stuff. We had chicken fajitas for dinner. He's like, you don't mind having fajitas 2 days in a row? No, I don't care. That's fine. Because remember, I had them at Chevy's Saturday night. And they came over about 1:30, and I had been stitching. I was sitting downstairs. I was working on my Hocus Pocus piece, which I'm almost done that, by the way. I'll be finished that tonight. So I was stitching, and I'm like, we were just going to sit there and watch the Olympics. So I'm like, I'm going to keep stitching. And I stitched for a good hour while they were here. I got quite a bit done. Yeah, I only have the U and the S in the word focus, and then the web on the one side and the little spider, and that's all I have to do. So, but yeah, so they left at about 5:30, and we just watched TV until 8. He went to bed. I watched a little bit of Floss Tube, and I went to bed. So yeah, today I'm off work. Our job for tomorrow confirmed, so I'm on the calendar the rest of the week. My hair appointment is still for Friday. Fingers crossed. I feel like it's been, my God, we're bordering on 2 months here since I've made the appointment. But yes, my hair appointment's Friday. Oh, yeah, something happened in the house. So last night, while Bill was making dinner, I hear him say, "Oh no." So I come upstairs and I'm like, he's like, I saw all this water like on the rug in front of our sink. He's like, why is that all wet? Well, our garbage disposal is leaking. Leaking, like when you turn on the sink and run the water, it pours out of the garbage disposal. He's like, what the actual fuck? So I had to wash the rugs in the kitchen. We pulled everything out from under the cabinet. And today, now he'll get off work early. Today they have like this cookout to celebrate. They're giving them some award or something. His cookout's at 11. It started 15 minutes ago. So he'll probably be leaving there at like 1 o'clock and he won't have to go back to work. So he's going to go to Home Depot and get a garbage disposal and hopefully he can replace it. But I'm like, Jesus. So I'm like, well, that'll be a couple $100. Yeah, it's always something, right? When you have a house, you're always doing something. So that was nice to find that out last night. Yeah. But okay. So yeah, today, just getting stuff done. I read a little bit this morning, had a cup of coffee, which by the way, I've been trying out like new coffee creamers because I've been trying to really only drink like 1 cup a day and use a tablespoon of half and half and a tablespoon of regular creamer. Well, I had ordered this creamer by Instacart because there's a store where we get our cauliflower pizza crust, and the order came today. And I had ordered this almond milk creamer, and it actually is really good. It's vanilla. I want to say it's by Coffee Mate. It's pretty good though. I really liked it. I'm like, that's good, because trying to drink coffee with just half and half, it's almost like drinking it black. And I'm like, I need to enjoy my coffee a little bit more than that. Right? But yeah, I'm liking the vanilla creamer. It tasted good. Oh, that reminds me, coffee. So when we were going out to Mission Barbecue for dinner, I needed to stop at Michael's. I needed 2 skeins of floss. And so Bill stopped there, and in that plaza where the Michael's is, there's a Starbucks. And I kept telling him, I'm like, I need to start using my Starbucks gift card. I had $122 on it. That's a lot of coffee. So when we went to Michael's, he's like, do you want to stop and get a coffee? I'm like, yes. So I can start using that card up. So maybe I'll go get a coffee today. I need to start using it. Like $122. Thank God it never expires. But it's just like, it's so funny, right? Yeah. I gotten a small mocha. Mocha's my favorite there, although I really like their dark roast coffee as well. When I go to my retreats like September and December, there's a Starbucks that's only like 5 streets away from our hotel. I walk there every morning and get a coffee. And sometimes I'll even walk like later on in the day, like I'll get 2 a day. Like I'm going to have the money on that card. Yeah. Their cake pops. I love their cake pops. Oh my God. But I haven't been eating stuff like that, right? Okay. But yeah, I had a coffee Saturday night. It was delicioso. Okay. So today's true crime story, now that I've jibby jabbed enough, right, is Kelly Cochran. Christopher Regan was missing, and the police in the small Michigan town of Iron River were baffled as to his whereabouts. Christopher's car had been found abandoned at a park and ride in October 2014. But that's no crime, right? No. An adult is entitled to drop out of sight if that is what he or she chooses to do. Many follow that path for their own reasons, but in Christopher's case, it just didn't make any sense. The 53-year-old military contractor had recently landed a new job in North Carolina and had been planning his move there. According to friends, he had been excited at the prospect of starting anew. Moreover, the divorced father of 2 maintained a close relationship with his children and would never have gone anywhere without letting them know. So him dropping off the face of the earth, not a normal thing, not something that would usually happen. So what had happened to Christopher? Friends and acquaintances of the missing man offered at least one interesting snippet of information. They said that Chris had been having an affair with a married woman, 35-year-old Kelly Marie Cochran. A handwritten note that had been found inside Chris's car seemed to confirm this, and once detectives checked Chris's cell phone records and found numerous calls between him and Kelly, they knew where they had to begin their investigation. Of course, yeah. So Kelly wasn't difficult to find. In fact, she and Chris had been co-workers. Questioned about their relationship, she readily admitted that they had been sleeping together. So according to Kelly, her husband Jason knew all about it and had given his approval, as long as it was purely about sex with no emotional attachments. Yeah, that probably isn't happening, because I'm sorry, it usually becomes more than that, right? Yeah. As for Chris's whereabouts, Kelly said that she had no idea where he might be. They had recently ended the affair after Chris told her he was moving out of state. And that makes sense, right? So the next step for detectives was Kelly's residence to interview the unemployed Jason. So her husband's unemployed. As the potentially wronged husband, Jason certainly had motive. But he backed up everything that Kelly had said. According to him, he had been injured in an accident that had rendered him impotent. Oh my God! He had then given Kelly permission to take a lover, provided the relationship remained purely physical. Oh my God, how awful, right? He had done this, he said, because he was afraid that Kelly might leave him for someone else if her physical needs were not met. He also claimed that he bore no ill will toward his wife's lover and that Chris had even been a dinner guest in their home. What the fuck? Furthermore, Jason offered an alibi for the day of Chris's disappearance. He said that he had been in the hospital receiving treatment for anxiety. Okay. Kelly had been a convincing witness, but Jason less so. The police did not believe his story and therefore obtained a search warrant for the couple's home. They need not have bothered because Kelly willingly invited them in and told them that they were welcome to look wherever they liked. She seemed almost smug when the search turned up nothing. So later, the police would learn that she had taken college-level classes in forensics and probably then knew what was required to clean up a crime scene. Okay. But while the search might have come up empty, the Cochrans' next act certainly aroused suspicion. Shortly after they were interrogated by the police, the couple suddenly packed their bags and moved to Indiana. They departed in the middle of the night, leaving behind furniture, personal belongings, even the food in their refrigerator. Yeah, that is weird, right? When the police later questioned neighbors about the couple's sudden departure, they garnered still more suspicious details. On the night of October 27th, the night Chris had vanished, there had been strange noises coming from the Cochrans' residence. A neighbor described it as the sound of sawing and said that it had continued until well after midnight. When the neighbor asked Jason about it the next morning, he said that he had been unable to sleep and had been working on building a staircase. The only problem with that explanation was that none of the Cochrans' neighbors could recall seeing any lumber being delivered to the house. So what was he sawing? A body? That's where this is going, right? And then there was another story, one that would ensure the infamy of this case for years to come. A neighbor, David Saylor, reported a number of unprecedented dinner invitations in late October. Previously, the Cochrans had barely exchanged greetings with him and his wife. Now they were invited 3 times in the space of a week, twice for a sit-down meal and once for a barbecue. That would be weird. Suspicious, right? So the neighbor told police there was so much meat and barely any side dishes. No! Do not even fucking tell me they chopped that guy up and fed him to their neighbors. If that's it, I'm gonna die. He also said the meat tasted like nothing he had eaten before. I fucking can't. I cannot. He described it as not quite pork and not quite chicken. Oh my God, no. Only later, when Chris's disappearance came to light, did David, the neighbor, consider the horrific possibility. I'm thinking, oh my God, did they cut this guy up? And later he would tell a relative, dude, we ate a guy. Oh my God, I would be so sick. I would be ill. So while David's revelations hinted at some horrific possibilities, they did not amount to evidence of murder. In truth, the police had nothing to link the Cochrans to Chris's disappearance, nothing at least that would stand up in a court of law, and the matter remained officially a missing persons case. And it would likely have stayed so but for another murder committed 16 months later in Hobart, Indiana. Okay. On the night of February 20th, 2016, a 911 dispatcher in Lake County, Indiana, received a call from a woman who said that her husband had overdosed on heroin and wasn't breathing. Police and paramedics rushed to the scene and found 37-year-old Jason Cochran dead of an apparent overdose, and his wife explained she had come home to find him laying dead on the floor. Unfortunately for Kelly, the autopsy reports did not back up her story. Her husband did have a large amount of heroin in his system, enough possibly to have caused an overdose. Except he hadn't died of an overdose, he had been asphyxiated, so strangled? That put Kelly solidly in the frame, making her the one and only suspect. Officers were immediately dispatched to bring Kelly in for questioning, but they arrived to find the Cochran residence empty and Kelly long gone. The fuck? A manhunt was then launched, and since it was believed that she had fled across state lines, the FBI was brought into the investigation at this time. Their expertise in these matters would soon pay dividends as Kelly was tracked to Kentucky and arrested within a week. Kelly was brought back to Indiana where, despite the evidence against her, she refused to admit to killing her husband. She continued to insist that Jason had died of an overdose. Then, after being shown the autopsy report, she changed her tune. She now conceded that he might have asphyxiated but continued to deny her involvement. She said if he did suffocate, it must have happened accidentally while he was passed out. So asphyxiation, means suffocation, not strangling necessarily. She challenged the police to prove otherwise, and doing so they knew would be a difficult challenge. But then one of the investigators suggested a ruse to finally break down Kelly's resistance. So the FBI had by now learned that Kelly was a suspect in the disappearance of Chris in Michigan. They had obtained Chris's case file, and armed with this information, they told Kelly that they had searched her home and found a letter left behind by Jason. In it, he admitted that he and Kelly had murdered Chris and dismembered the body. So they lying, but yeah, the letter was fiction, of course, but the level of detail officers were able to provide convinced Kelly that it was real, and she now admitted she had killed Jason. Oy, oy, oy. According to her, she had deliberately given him an overdose of heroin, hoping that it would kill him. But Jason was taking too long to die, and so she suffocated him by squeezing his nose shut and holding her hand over his mouth. Fabulous. She had held this position until he stopped breathing, and only then she called 911. She had done it, she said, because Jason had killed Chris, who she described as the only good thing in my life. So, explaining the motive for Chris's murder, Kelly said that she and Jason had a deal in place whereby they could sleep with whoever they liked, provided they did not form an emotional attachment. They had also agreed that should either of them fall in love with one of their affairs, they would act together to murder that person. What? What kind of fucked up, crazy pants stuff is that? She claimed that she had always thought that Jason was joking about that part of the arrangement. However, after she had admitted to Jason she had feelings for Chris, he had invoked the clause and insisted that she participate in Chris's murder. How about saying no? Kelly had reluctantly agreed. Why? Why? So on October 27th, 2014, she lured Chris to her home in Iron River with the promise of sex, and there, Jason shot him to death. They later dismembered the body and disposed of the remains in the woods of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Then they cleaned up the crime scene before driving Chris's car to the park and ride where it would later be found. Kelly would later lead the police to the spot where they had dumped Chris's body. Various bones, including the skull, were discovered there, but it was far from a complete corpse. Kelly was coy as to what had happened to the rest of the remains. She refused to confirm or deny whether she had fed her former lover's flesh to unsuspecting neighbors. Oh my God. Kelly was ultimately sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Chris. She subsequently made a deal with prosecutors in Indiana, pleading guilty to her husband's murder and accepting a 65-year prison term. Jesus, so she's not getting out. But this is far from the end of the story. What? Details have since emerged that Kelly might have been involved in other murders and may be a serial killer. What? Kelly herself has done nothing to dampen this speculation. In fact, she has at various times confessed to killing 21 people. Wow! That is quite a lot of people. Why? These claims are in all likelihood an exaggeration, but investigators do believe that Kelly is responsible for more than the 2 murders of which she has been convicted. In the words of one officer, there are probably others out there. I don't even know what to say to that. What? Why? Why are you killing all these people? You know they fucking fed that Chris's flesh to the neighbors. You know it. You know. Why all of a sudden would you be inviting your neighbors over for 3 times in the course of a week that you never even looked at before? I fucking can't with that. No. 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 Oh, Mrs. Rochester's Ghost is by Lindsay Marcott. Yeah, I'm on page 115 of 387. Okay. So we always end on a positive affirmation from A Year of Positive Thinking by Cindy Spiegel. And today is Monday, August 2nd. It's August. So this one is kind of a long one, and it says, nurture relationships of integrity. You do not need to have the same interests or personalities as though you surround yourself with. What matters is that you connect from your heart and that you value the integrity of your connection equally. Sustain relationships that take you outside of your comfort zone. They will support your growth. Foster these relationships or foster these friendships, and they will bring you more joy, love, and connection than you ever knew possible. Relationships built of integrity will carry you through both the best and the worst of times. Always create space for them. You know, and I had said something, I had put something on Instagram over the weekend or this week that it showed 2 flowers. And one flower said, oh, I love your petals. It's so beautiful, but I feel like I'm blooming slower than you. And the other flower said, well, silly, we're different flowers. Meaning, you know, and that's, I guess, a little bit related to that, where, you know, you don't have to have exactly every single thing in common to either be friends with someone or even be in a relationship. Like Bill and I are very different people, but we complement, I think, each other. And I take an interest in what he does and vice versa. So, yeah, I mean, where am I going with this? Where I'm going with this is that, yes, cultivate integrity for sure. People who are good, have good morals, have good values, are decent, kind people. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with, right? Yeah. But yeah, we are all different. And let's face it, the world would be a fucking boring place if we were all the same people, right? Yes, of course it would. Of course. So, as always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.